Hey, Sparklers, how are you? I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day. Today is Thoughtful Thursday, and our topic for today is You Are Not Your Emotions. So, before we get started, tell me, can you hear me okay? Look, I got a new toy. If you're not aware, we actually started I set some goals at the beginning of the year of some things that I wanted to do and achieve in my business. And one of them in particular was to start a podcast. So I will be starting a podcast before the end of the year. I'm on track for that goal. And yesterday, my husband, my amazing husband, he bought me a present. Check it out, right? So now I've got myself a microphone for podcasting. Hopefully the sound is really good at your end, guys. Tell me, how does it sound? Hopefully it sounds awesome, nice and clear, a rich sound. So as you're jumping on in, say hi, do us a solid as well, guys, and share the Sparkle Love on out. Hit that share button, share it out around the world because we want to help people with Thoughtful Thursday. So what we'll do in a moment is we'll get stuck into the content, and then if anybody's still here, then we can go ahead and let me just send out some invitations. Sounds amazing. Thank you, Sheridan. I'm so glad it sounds good. So I'm just going to send out a mini chat blast to all of our beautiful sparklers out there, just because Thoughtful Thursdays only just started. So let's see if we can get a few more people in. Now, if you're catching the replay, you will just need to scroll through a little bit before we get stuck into the content. But I'm just going to send this little sucker out I'm just going to send it to the entire Sparkle world. All right, there we go. Let's do this. All right, now I'm also testing an extra few little functions and features out as well. So I'm just going to play around with all of this stuff. All right, so today's topic is our thoughts are not us. Your emotions are not you. Awesome. Yay. I'm so glad everyone says it sounds amazing. It sounds great. Oh, how cool. Oh, love it. Hey, Maria, long time no see, beautiful lady. All right, so let's get stuck into today. So, hi everyone. I'm Sally Sparks Cousins, the founder of the Sparkle Class Academy, and today is Thoughtful Thursday, and we are talking your thoughts, your emotions. They are not you. Give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Now, have you heard this before? I'm sure you have, right? Thinking about the future, or you don't do something and you'll regret it. You need to plan for tomorrow. I wish I hadn't done that. Oh, will things ever work out for me? Oh, why didn't I just do that? Why didn't they do that? Will I ever find happiness? Why has life made me this way? Oh, what's wrong with me? Do you find these thoughts running through your head around and around inside your mind? It's like a never ending internal conversation full of questions and uncertainties and just the not knowing, that driving force of why can't it seem to stop? Why can't I stop them? Why can't I stop this insanity? And what it can do is it can really start to depreciate your day. And are you looking for answers, but you feel really, really overwhelmed by all the questions and the uncertainty and the indecisions? And then you just get paralyzed, right, with fear. And you're finding it so hard to maybe hold relationships, or even you're finding it hard to get answers of what you should be doing, that those thoughts just run around and around and around inside your mind. Are you hearing me? Yes. Yes. Thank you, Lucia, so much for sharing. So this never ending internal conversation and that not knowing that's driving those forces of your thoughts, and they start to drive you insane. You want to be able to resolve that, right? I'm sure you do. And I'm sure you've thought to yourself, oh, I'm looking for answers everywhere. And you feel overwhelmed and you just get paralyzed by fear. If you're finding it hard to hold a job or a relationship, or you feel depressed or alone or abandoned, you could even start hurting the people around you, the ones that really love you. And your behavior is doing that. That internal conversation, it can be deafening at times. Am I right? Do you feel that? But you know what? Change is possible. It is possible when we act mindfully. Your emotions are not real. What they are, hi Rhonda, they're just emotions. They come and they go just like the seasons. We are extremely lucky that we live in a society that has people who can understand, and they have services that can give you support. And most importantly, you have you. And if you are listening to me still, then I'm sure that you want change. And when you're ready to make change and you're ready to accept responsibilities for your own behavior, that's when your recovery can truly begin. You see, during my recovery through PTSD and trauma, I was taught a behavioral model called acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT. And this is based upon three main concepts. Acceptance, which you learn to foster greater acceptance for your own thoughts and feelings and of other people, and that events are beyond your control, and the belief that you have in any given moment. And by doing so, you're able to break away from your preoccupation with that anxiety or sadness, and you can focus upon your own recovery. Now, next is fostering commitment. Now, you need to be committed to change, to focus upon moving forward to those things that really matter, that matter in your life, and to continue to travel through the spiral of life, but with both acceptance and commitment that you want things to be better. Now, onto behavior. You need to change your mind and your behavior, and you do this through mindfulness. You can learn that regardless of your circumstances or your thoughts, all those thoughts that color your perception, your behavior can either move you away or towards those things that really, really matter most to you. And you have a choice. Now, it's not necessarily going to be an easy choice, but it is a choice nonetheless. These things you can truly learn when you become mindful and you commit to acting mindfully. This is not to say that our behavior is not without reason. I mean, far from it. There's always a good reason for feeling anxious or to feel sadness or even to feel happiness. When you feel anxious or sadness and you start to tell yourself, oh, I just can't cope, or you get angry and you say, oh, look, I just don't see the point. Or when you feel happy, You feel like celebrating, right? In fact, we always have a huge supply of reasons. When you learn a coping strategy that enables you to manage this is when things can truly change. It's like learning to drive, right? Or making a coffee, just like my beautiful long black here. When you make that coffee in the morning, you do these things on autopilot without awareness of your own behavior. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a process. And it's super important to be able to do this and to function day to day. Because if every time you got behind a wheel or you made a coffee, you had to consciously relearn the process, your day would soon become totally unmanageable. Am I right? That autopilot behavior, this is learned repetition. It sits in your subconscious and it's ready to put into action when you need it. And this is totally fine. It's perfectly fine behavior, providing it's taking us towards those things that we need. Like when you drive, you need to get to work, or that sweet, sweet long black coffee in the morning. Okay? They take us towards things that we want. The problem comes when the behavior not only it starts to take us away from those things that we value, and it starts to create more problems than it solves. So if you discovered your sense of self has been replaced with a yearning to be someone or something else, something that is not you, this is when anxiety and depression and sadness and all those really horrible emotions can start to seep in. But when you choose to live in the now, it changes everything. When you start to focus on acting mindfully and being aware of the now, it changed everything for me. So when you discover that you are not who you think you are, then this is when change will really truly come, because your thoughts are your own, but they do not describe you. Because you think and feel anxious or sadness, that does not mean that you are anxious or sadness. It means that you're experiencing a symptom of anxiety, that you are not anxiety. For example, if you were to break your arm, would you go and tell people, I am broken? Of course not. But why, when we feel anger, for example, why are we quick to say, I am angry? If you pay attention to that and live in the now, then you'll start to notice the symptoms as they actually are, just symptoms. And you will start to notice if you are feeling anxiety, you will start to, rather than say, I am anxious, you can notice what anxiety is and its symptoms. So anxiety is, my heart rate is starting to race and starting to elevate. My mouth is starting to dry. Maybe you can start to feel something in your head or in your hands or in your throat. And then you'll start to feel some intrusive thoughts starting to be placed into your mind. And what that starts to do now, it's a body's response to push you towards that flight or fight response. But by noticing these sensations, you can then be an observer of them and no longer be a slave to them. You can choose to identify them and give them a name. So I do this all the time. Say sadness comes to visit. You can choose to look at it and say, I'm so sad. I am sad right now. Or I can take a step back and I can say, hi, sadness. You're just visiting me right now. When sadness comes to visit me, I know what I feel. I don't know what other people feel, but tell me, when sadness comes to visit, what feelings does it give you? For me, I get a tightness here in my throat and I can feel it in the back of my tongue. I can feel the eyes start welling with some water. What sort of feelings do you get when sadness comes to visit you? Yes, look, it can be truly uncomfortable when you start to learn to accept those uncomfortable feelings. Things start to get easier. Remember that by practicing in times through repetition, it will get easier and easier for you to start to change those thought patterns. And we spoke last week about, that neuroplasticity and the changes in the connections in the brain. And the brain will start to rewire itself. So you do not need to complicate things when these emotions come and start judging yourself and telling yourself off, because you are just having feelings and you're allowed to have them. That's the joy of being a human. For those things that you feel or that you believe, they are simply just thoughts. They are sensations inside of you, but they cannot harm you. If you become self-aware and start to practice mindful and be mindful of your behaviors, then this exercise will be a choice. And you can choose over and over again to act in the now. And when we act now and we don't allow those things, those thoughts and feelings to overtake us, then this allows us to also become aware of what's most valuable to us. What is most important? And you know what? The noticing is the key. Notice the noticing. If you don't notice what's happening, then you can't make a choice of how we're going to respond to these things, whatever they may be. For example, if you walk into a room and you've never been there before, you open the door, you've met a person you've never met before, and she tells you, oh, you look so fat in that dress. Oh my goodness. You are going to have an emotional response to this situation. But no more than that. It's just like the sun rises and sets. You cannot change your emotional responses to situations, but you can change what happens next. When you start to notice your reactions, you can accept those thoughts and feelings and the reality of the situation that you're in. And if you don't, you probably just react with really bad behavior with the way that you feel. So perhaps you may comment back with some abusive things towards the person, which you're going to feel dreadful about later. Or maybe you'll just burst out into tears and you'll start crying and you'll feel so embarrassed because you're crying in front of everybody. Hey, or maybe you'll just get so upset you'll turn to alcohol and drugs, or maybe you'll start self-harm. Now, any of those behaviors taking you towards your values, towards those things that you cherish? Thank you so much, Kaylina. They're not. They're not taking you towards what you truly, truly believe in. Yes. However, if you become aware and you start noticing what's going on for you, then you've got another option. You've got a choice to make. You can pause before you act, before that behavior comes out. And you can choose your behavior based upon your awareness of both the situation and what matters to you. You have to let go of trying to change the way you feel and stop trying to be something else or someone else. Just simply live in the now and know that only your behavior shapes your destiny, regardless of your thoughts and your feelings. When you are aware that your behavior you can control it. And in doing so, you will live a life full of purpose. If, like me, you've struggled or are currently struggling with your emotions, then the practice of ACT and mindfulness can truly help you as well. You are not your thoughts and beliefs and your feelings. You don't need to try so hard to control them. You just need to accept them as they are. And they come and they go in any present moment. And when they come, just say, hi. Hi, sadness. You're just visiting me right now. I can feel you in my throat. I can feel you in my eyes. And just wait for sadness to pass on through, because it's just like the weather. They come and they go, and you have no control over the weather, the same as you have no control over emotions. You have control over your behavior, on how you let them define how you act. And I don't want you to be ruled by your emotions, as you are beautiful. Your emotions are not you. They are just how you feel at the present moment. And you know what, guys? Whatever you feel right now, that soon shall pass. All right, guys, there we go. So that is what I truly believe in regards to you are not your emotions. I hope that you start to practice mindfulness and you start to act and using acceptance and be committed to want to change. I hope that this truly helps you today and going forward. And if things were different in the past, just forgive yourself for what you didn't know before you knew it, because now you do. And the key is to start noticing the noticing. Okay, guys, I'm going to scroll back through now for everyone who has joined me live, and I will answer any of your questions. So Maria is in hospital with her son, Sammy. Hi, Sammy. How are you? Hopefully, I know you're on a roller coaster there, honey, but you have the strength inside you. I know you do. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Everyone's loving my new microphone. Love it. Thank you, Lucia, for sharing. And Maria for sharing. Age is in the house. She loves Thoughtful Thursdays. Hi, Danny May. Kerry, yeah, check out the mic. I'm getting so professional now. I can't wait. I had a goal by the end of the year to start my own podcast channel, and yay, are on my way to starting my own podcast channel. How exciting, right? Good morning, Roz. It looks like Maria got kicked out a few times. Yes, breathe. That's okay. And it's just a feeling there, Maria. Hey, Gail. Yeah, Amanda's in the house. Hey, Kaylina came in too. Oh, she likes my mic. I like that too. I actually came home yesterday. Oh, well, sorry. I went out into the kitchen to have lunch with Danny, and we were talking for about 15 minutes. And he said to me, oh, like he pointed at the table, and there were like these boxes sitting on the table, right? And normally when we get new things, it's like stuff for the car for his 4-wheel drive. So hi, Charlotte. So I just totally like didn't look at it. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, it's a microphone. So it was my new microphone. So I got an extension arm so I can move it out of screen like this. And back in, it's also got a mount and this little thing here. So that kind of helps with like if I'm tapping on the desk or if things get bumped to stop putting those sounds through the microphone. So I hope everybody likes the new, hopefully it sounds more full as well. So hey, Kendi. Okay, Elizabeth, your daughter's been through a breakup recently. You're very welcome. I hope that helps. And breakups can be so very hard. If she's young as well, Elizabeth, one thing I would say, my sister, she's a nurse. She's very smart. When she went through her first breakup, she realized that her emotions were starting to control her, and she's very she is quite an emotional person, but she realized that there was something that she couldn't quite get a handle on as well. So she just went and saw a counselor for a couple of sessions just to help her get a handle and to look at her from the outside, which then allowed her to start to really, she was using ACT and looking at herself from the outside. So hopefully this is enough to help her guide her and to think more mindfully and to realize that, you know, your thoughts are just thoughts. They come and they go. But if not, there is nothing wrong with going and seeking help as well, especially when you're younger. You know, does everybody remember their first or second breakups? You know, they are really hard, right? Breakups are not good, especially when you're young and you've still got all those hormones and you're still figuring yourself out. I think actually we're always figuring ourselves out forever. But it really helped her, and so yeah, I truly believe, especially for the younger ones, it's a good thing. So you're very welcome, Kaylina. I'm glad it helped you. You're welcome, Roz. Yes. Yes. Okay. Only 20. Definitely, honey. Hopefully this will help her, get her to tune into Thoughtful Thursdays, if that helps, because I have definitely done a lot. And for me, the practice of mindfulness is super important. It's something that I practice on a daily basis. It has definitely changed the way I look after having really a severe trauma and going through PTSD and actually not knowing I was suffering from PTSD. It rewired my brain, doing crazy things, flashbacks, and it affected relationships and the people around me. So once I started to realize and practice mindfulness that it's just a thought, it's just a feeling, it is not who I am, it really started to change the way I feel. And I'm very new to mindfulness. I've only been practicing it for less than 12 months. But I truly believe, give me another couple of years and I would be a mindfulness coach. That's how much I truly believe that the therapy of ACT and mindfulness together are really, really strong. And there's so much, and because I'm a very factual person, there's so much scientific evidence in the background, or scientific evidence that this stuff actually really does work. Like, they have proof. I mean, I can't go and show you all the proof right now. You can certainly research it. Google knows everything. But there is true proof about how fantastic mindfulness is, and also neuroplasticity. And you've heard this saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, you can. There is evidence to prove that when you start thinking a different way, it starts to rewire the brain and you get this cortical thickening in different areas of the brain. So when you start to notice the noticing, which is probably something that you act on autopilot with your emotions, and then you allow your emotions to become a behavior. But when you just say it's an emotion, and yes, happiness, every time you feel something, like right now, no matter what you're doing right now, guys, take a moment and think about, if you were to explain how you feel right now, not who you are, but how you feel right now, put it into words. So if you were to just give it that one word, are you happy, sad, content, excited? What word? Put it into the comments right now. Are you feeling? And then what I want you to do is I want you to notice the feelings that it gives you inside of your body. And if you want to have a better think about it, who would like to actually do a body scan with me right now? It's probably a good thing. Put it in the comments. Yes, body scan. And we'll do a little body scan. All right. So Amanda, are you feeling frustrated right now? What are those feelings that frustration gives you? You aren't frustrated. You just feel it right now. We've got content and peaceful. Charlotte's feeling depressed. You aren't depressed. You're just feeling depressed. So sadness has come to visit you right now. Is it the sadness or the anger part of depression that you're feeling right now? But it's just come to visit right now. That's all. Yes to a body scan. Who's done a body scan before? All right. So a body scan is noticing the present moment. Okay. So what I want you to do now is I want you to find somewhere to sit if you possibly can. Otherwise, you can come back to this video and do it later on. But put some headphones in or sit me down somewhere, and I want you to find somewhere to sit. And I want you to close your eyes. And what we're going to do is we're going to notice the feelings and the sensations inside of our body, from our toes all the way through to our head. And we're just noticing right now our feelings and sensations that are happening inside of our body. Now, as we do this, your mind will wander. It happens. It's part of it. But bring it back. Okay. So now you're sitting and you're comfortable. I want you to now breathe in deep and breathe out. And let every part of you relax. And breathe in and breathe out. Now I want you to turn your attention to your toes and feel the sensation in your toes as you move up through the ball of your foot And you move up into your ankles and notice the feelings and the sensations. Moving up now through the back of your calves, through and around your calves. Feel any feelings and sensations, just notice them and move on past into your knees. Feel the back of your legs sitting on the chair. Feel the front of your hands. If your hands are front of your legs, if your hands are resting on your legs, feel them. Just notice any feelings and sensations. That's right. And then move up through your legs to your buttocks and feel the sensations. Is it tight? Is it relaxed? And relax. That's right. Move through your hips and up and around to the front of your pelvis. Any feelings, any sensations, just notice them and pass on through, coming up to your belly, through to your navel, and feel up through your stomach. You can feel your lungs expanding and deflating as you exhale, and just notice. That's right. Any feelings and sensations coming up now to your rib cage, and feel as you breathe in, your rib cage expanding and deflating. And any feelings or sensations, just notice and pass on through. Up now into your shoulders. Are they tight? Just push them and relax. Release the tension. Is there any tightness or stiffness? Just notice and pass on through. We'll go down our arms, down the back of our arms and to the front. Can you feel any sensations? Just notice and pass on through. That's right. Moving down through the arms and through the hands and to your fingertips. Are they cold? Are they warm? Just notice and pass on through. Now I want you to scan back up your arms. Notice any sensations and just pass on through. Just notice. Now up through to your neck. Relax your shoulders and notice, is it relaxed? Is one side sorer than the other? Is it tight? Up to the base of your skull. Moving around to your chin, through to your lips. Are they tingling? Through to your cheeks. Any sensations? Are they warm? Are they cold? Just notice. And pass on through, up through to your nose. You can feel the air going in and coming out through to your eyes. Are they relaxed? Just notice and pass on through. That's right. Moving up through the crown of your head, through your skull. Can you feel any hair movement in the wind? Any sensations through your hairline? Just notice and pass on through. And now slowly come back, open your eyes, shift your focus. Welcome back to the now. So that is a body scan. So what did you feel? Were there some areas of your body that were relaxed? Were there some areas of your body that were tight? Were there tingly sensations? If you were sad, did you have tightness in certain areas? If you were tired, could you feel that in certain areas of your body? It's just a feeling. It's a feeling that comes on from the emotions and from the older you get. For me, like my lower back and my shoulders are a little numb right now. So how did that make you feel? How do you feel right now? That's a body scan. That's helping you come back into the now, into the present moment. If you find yourself shifting and your thoughts moving away, that's natural. That's totally normal. That is what happens. So hopefully that has brought you back into the now to realize that that is just a feeling, a sensation, and that soon will pass. But you can choose to do something. If you're feeling sad or you're feeling depressed or anxious, do something, do a behavior that will help to change those thoughts and those feelings. Get up, go for a walk, read a book, listen to a podcast, listen to me when I do get a podcast going. Go and do something. If you are not happy with the way you're feeling, it's taking you away from your values, those things that you value most. Get up right now and choose that the behavior that you're going to do is going to pull you out of that feeling that you don't want to feel anymore. Say hi to it. It's just visiting, and don't tell yourself off. Don't be judgmental towards yourself. All right, guys, I will come back and read all your comments. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you enjoyed the body scan. Maybe I'll do a little bit more of the meditation mindfulness stuff for you if this is something that you have enjoyed. I've never done that for you live before. So if you have enjoyed it, please let me know if that has improved your morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Or if not, if something comes to visit, sadness, happiness, whatever, just say hi. It's passing on through. I'll see you next time I go live. Definitely. It may just be the Tuesday, or if I feel up to it, just keep an eye on the channel. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Never let anyone dull your sparkle. I got your back. Bye, guys.